Alright, Serapis here, and today I'm going to be going over the Pledge team, talking about how it works in VGC, and just the team itself. As you can see, it's already changed from the last battle. Klefki and Noivern left pretty quickly, but I'll go over that in a moment. So Pledge, let's just take Grey Ninja. Here's the view we're looking for. Grey Ninja, I switched him up a bit. I gave him a Focus Sash because I was occasionally having problems with just getting O-code in the beginning. It's not terrible, but I figured a Focus Sash would make it better. Protein is great on him because it's good defensively. Now, what I'm talking about is Manectric. Manectric, when it Mega Evolves, becomes faster than Grey Ninja is. So, if you start off with a Protect, because Manectric always starts off with a Protect, at least when Grey Ninja's on the field, so it gains more speed than Grey Ninja. But if you Protect, that makes you a normal type, and then you are not O-code by Manectric, which is nice. So, moveset, relatively straightforward. Water Pledge to combine with Venusaur's Grass Pledge. Ice Beam, just because Ice Beam hits a lot of things for a lot of damage. Taunt, now this is an interesting one. For a while I was running U-turn so I could switch back out, but U-turn I wasn't getting to use it all that often, so I replaced it with Taunt. Taunt shuts down Pranksters. It also deals with Thunderwave, Zapdos, and Gyarados before they can really do anything, so I really like Taunt. Plus, nobody ever sees Taunt Grey Ninja coming. They literally don't. EV is extremely simple. Max speed, 252 into special attack, and 4 into HP with timid nature. Very, very standard. Venusaur, also nothing amazing. I'm running the ability Chlorophyll here. You could choose to run Overgrow, but I'm running Chlorophyll in case I run into a Sun team. Both of these abilities are relatively selective. You wouldn't be using either of them very much, but I would actually suggest running Overgrow, I suppose, just to power up Grass Pledge when you happen to get weak. But when I make this team in reality, I'm going to have it be running Chlorophyll, so I'm going to run Chlorophyll on this Venusaur. And why? Well, because I want Venusaur to be able to do something else, and Chlorophyll is a better ability. Venusaur Right, which is relatively simple. Grass Pledge to combine with Water Pledge to get those 4 turns of half speed for your opponent. Sludge Bomb, because it's a great secondary stab. Sleep Powder, it's wonderful for putting one of your opponents down for the count, and once you get that speed up, with no speed investment, you're at base 200, so you can Sleep Powder a whole bunch of stuff, cause all sorts of problems, and then just Protect, because this is VGC and you want to carry Protect. Once again, another 252, 252, 4 spread with max HP, max special attack, modest nature, and the remaining 4 into defense, just really because. Not much around here. Haxorus, Choice Banded Haxorus. Moveset's pretty much what you would expect. Outrage for teams that don't have fairies when you don't really care who you are hitting. Dragon Claw when you need to be certain you want to hit a certain opponent. Earthquake to get that ×4 super effective damage on Rotom Heat. A lot of people don't know that Haxorus has Mold Breaker, even though when it comes in it literally says Haxorus breaks the mold. This is probably more of more prevalent on Showdown because you don't actually get the little bar that comes out and says it. You just get a little text. But Mold Breaker Earthquake is amazingly powerful. And then Rockslide. This moveset is pretty much what you want to run. And for all of these, you're pretty much looking at what you want to run. These are the sets you want to run. Grey Ninja, you could substitute Taunt for U-turn, but I like it as it is. Once again, ridiculously simple 252, 252, 4 EV spread with Adamant Nature. You can see what's going on. Makes it reasonably bulky. Haxorus isn't as bulky as Garchomp or Mega Garchomp, but for a Haxorus, this is pretty bulky, and it's got a nice lot of attack. Quickly, for people who are curious about how Haxorus compares to Garchomp, if you were going to run Garchomp, you would want to do max speed Jolly. So once you do that, and even assuming you're running a Banded Haxorus, you run into 2 things. 1, it has 51 less attack than Haxorus, and 2, it loses out on the Earthquake, the Mold Breaker Earthquake, which shuts down both Gengar and pretty much any Rotom form. So yeah, moving on, Chandelure. Now Chandelure, what you really have to do with Chandelure is fear Hydreigon. Hydreigon is just terrible for Chandelure. I looked into see if there was such a thing as Hidden Power Fairy. I don't know, but Chandelure is pretty much completely walled by Hydreigon. So whenever you see a Hydreigon, you have to be careful to get rid of it using Greninja's Ice Beam or Haxorus's one of his dragon moves. So relatively simple set: Heat Wave, Shadow Ball for your 2 stabs, Psychic for fighting types and poison types. I occasionally use Psychic on Amoonguss just because it's got that 100% accuracy that Heat Wave lacks. Of course, I only do that when it's low HP Amoonguss, but it's good to have another move like that, plus fighting type. It's always good to have something against them. And then Energy Ball just to punish unsuspecting water types. I don't remember how much it does to Rotom Wash, but this always OHKOs Azumarill, not to mention that unless they're running some weird Azumarill, Chandelure also outspeeds Azumarill. Ability is Infiltrator. You could run Flame Body or Flash Fire. Both of them are relatively good, especially with Flame Body. Mega Kangaskhan's Sucker Punch. Mega Kangaskhan has a 60% chance of getting burned, so that's... Wait, no, not 60%. It's got a good chance of being burned, and Flash Fire allows you to switch into Fire-type attacks meant for Scizor or Venusaur. I just usually run Infiltrator. I haven't seen many... In fact, I don't think I've ever run up against screens, but I have run up against subs, and there was a game that I only won because I had Infiltrator when somebody put up a substitute, and I was able to blast through it because of Infiltrator. All right, and options. There is an option for this set. That is to run Fire Blast for extra power, but because of the 15 drop in accuracy, I really don't like it, and I usually prefer Psychic's extra coverage. Simple EV spread, but there is an option with this EV spread. What you can do is you can go like, say that, let's see. Here we are. And then 12 here. All right, this EV spread is a little bit more complicated. What it does is it gives Chandelure that base 90 speed. Now you might be saying, what's that matter? Well, it matters because Chandelure, under the effects of Aerodactyl's Tailwind or the pledges, it becomes 180 speed, which allows it to outspeed max speed Gengar by 1 point. So that's definitely an option, but I normally like to just run it with max HP because max HP and 4 defense, because this gives it, I don't know what the chance is, but it has maybe I think about a 50% chance of surviving Mega Kangaskhan's Sucker Punch, and Mega Kangaskhan is a lot more prevalent, I guess you would say, than Gengar. Not to mention Gengar can be destroyed by Mold Breaker, Haxorus's Earthquake. Now here are the 2 new ones. We have Bullet Punch, X-Scissor, Swords Dance, Protect, Mega Scizor with ridiculously straightforward 252, 252, 4. Come to think of it, I don't want that 4 in defense, or I guess it doesn't matter. What the heck, I'll put it in special defense. So you've got that. This is just to make sure you're not entirely pledge reliant. One of the things I struggle with is Aerodactyl because you have that Sky Drop and it can cause problems. Mega Scizor's Bullet Punch deals with that pretty well unless it's sashed, and even then it brings it down to 1 HP. It's a guaranteed OHKO, so that's good. Plus, it's always good to have like Swords Dance, and then you can just Bullet Punch your way through the opposing team. What you can do is, normally for pledge, you want to run Greninja, Venusaur, Haxorus, Chandelure, but to make a different team, you could run Scizor, Aerodactyl, Greninja, Haxorus, or something else like that, which is nice. Plus, once he Mega Evolves, he gets 95 base speed, which under the effects of the pledges or Tailwind actually puts him at an extremely respectable 190 speed, so you can actually make use of that X-Scissor. And finally, Aerodactyl. Sky Drop just for that first turn. Rockslide. Now I'm going to get into Rockslide in a minute. Protect and Tailwind. Over here I'm running the Barbie Berry, just in case I happen to run up against a Scizor with Bullet Punch. More 252, 252, 4. Max attack, max speed. Now, the reason I changed Noivern out for Aerodactyl is because Aerodactyl allows me to deal with Talonflame. First is Fake Out, which can be pretty much remedied by a Double Protect works pretty well, works almost every time, especially against Mega Kangaskhan and the like. Second thing you run up against is Talonflame. Talonflame has the ability to OHKO both Greninja and Venusaur. It almost always goes for Greninja, though. So it's good to have a Talonflame counter. Assuming you don't want to run Aerodactyl, what I suggest doing is protecting with Greninja. Talonflame always targets Greninja, and then Sleep Powdering the Talonflame. It normally works, but then when your Sleep Powder misses, you're in a bit of trouble. Aerodactyl over here is pretty much here to take a Brave Bird or a Flare Blitz, or it wouldn't be taking a Flare Blitz because it outspeeds Talonflame, but to take a Brave Bird and then Rockslide in return, or something to that effect. It also has Tailwind, so if I can't manage to set up pledges in a best out of 3 scenario, you could use Tailwind, so that if they were expecting a Greninja Venusaur start, you can come up with something else, which is always good. Aerodactyl is also great because it has the flying typing that allows it to escape the earthquake. For a second I was like, oh, I'll run Rotom Heat and then I'll do something like that, and I was like, wait, no, my Mold Breaker will get rid of my Levitate and that would be a problem. So yeah, this is about what's going on. The ability you just want to have on Nerve. Rockhead's a great ability, but it doesn't do anything on Aerodactyl. Pressure is for stalling, and Aerodactyl doesn't have any bulk. Scizor, of course, Technician. I just forgot to go over that. So yeah, this is about what you're looking at. And finally, I'm going to bring myself to the last point, and that is this team has some trouble with Scarfers. If Aerodactyl goes down, or if either one of these two go down, you could be in a bit of trouble because then you don't really have much. These two get outsped and KO'd. If they're running a Pokemon that you think is a Scarfer, you want to start with Greninja Venusaur, and then Greninja's Focus Sash will proc, and you'll be able to get it up. I've dealt with it before. Moonblast, Choice Scarf. Yeah, Moonblast, Choice Scarf, Gardevoir. It worked. I was able to win. It was good. So yeah, this is the team. It's been working really well. Scizor and Aerodactyl, I've tested them out. I'm not certain if they're final, but they worked pretty well with Aerodactyl, Scizor, Chandelure, and Haxorus. Or you could cut one of them out and throw in Greninja. You've got a pretty solid team. So that's how it works. Pledge, in my opinion, is extremely viable in VGC. Not as much in Smogon doubles, but in VGC, where the matches last, maybe, I don't know, 5 turns to 8 turns maximum, being able to cripple your opponent for 3 of those turns, even if it is only 3 turns, is definitely something to look into. Finally, before I conclude this, Pledge has one more advantage, and that's that people have no idea what's going on. I think I've mentioned this before. I've had people rage quit about how I am outspeeding their max speed Jolly Kangaskhan with like my Haxorus over here or my Chandelure. Also, you can trick them into thinking you're Scarfed, which isn't amazing because they know you're locked into one move, but they also might not account for the power, so it's like, give or take. Anyhow, that is pretty much the end of this video on the pledges. Once again, I'm still looking for something to do the next video on. Not certain exactly what I'm going to do. If anybody has an idea, just please leave a comment. If not, I think I might do a video about Nidoking or Nidoking. I'm not certain about the correct pronunciation, but I think that'll be it. Anyways, until next time, hope you enjoyed, and if you ever come up against a pledge team, I hope you are more prepared, or if you ever decide to run a pledge team, I hope this has helped. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you next time.